die Kubor na Khlam jong unong san Hima.
Lampang ke yung dorbar tawan ke jelah ba medba lengdo hene kesngi ulalum ya kejingalang ya kiseng san perthei baper pan pej benia biang ya kejing don kam tam beni kun Pyrshah ya kene ka Khlam covid khat khandai kabala pur state ba ha ke jelah baro kawai habakaren bat kinong tho khobor hadin kejingalang ba medba ulaong ba ha kejingatai sani ba kila don kimat ke don kam kiba ki ha pen bha shu tam ke sarkar ka ha ban pej benia bat ban pen biang ya ki jing don kam ulo ongru bakum ulampang ke ying dorbar thawan ukentu ya baro kinong mikmat ban ya Treilang bat ban ya le Pyrshah ya kene ka Thma Pyrshah ya kene ka Khlam Kaba Ngimla ban Ïohi
discussions. There are new things which has come up during in the course of discussion, and we had already we have deliberated also in the details about the ongoing situation of COVID-19. And let me tell you again, or let me remind you that the objective of initiating this review meeting right from last year, from my office, is basically to ensure that all the honorable members comes together and fight against this COVID-19. As been stated by all the honorable members also, that this is a war. So as the honorable members of the August House, I was convinced that we have to come together as one and fight against this. So in the course of discussion, there are a lot of inputs, feedbacks and suggestions given by all the honorable members expressed in the review, and where the department concerned, be it the health and other departments, also have taken note of and ensure that those things are in place at the ground level. Well, state as a whole is very vast, has its very vast area. It's very difficult to ensure that each and every health centers are being taken care of. But however, most of those areas, we have seen that the health workers, the doctors, the headmen and so on, they're really a part and parcel of the team. Today, we have been given a presentation on the status of COVID-19. And let me tell you that it is because of the teamwork that we have from all the honorable members, and especially from the Honorable Chief Minister, who is the head of the state, driving the steps and actions which are supposed to be there in place. And people have to come forward now to ensure that they also be part and parcel of this mission or this war that we are fighting for, to ensure that we clean up all we clean up this virus which is there in our state. So that's all for today. I think we'll be again having this kind of reviews in the future if needed. I think from my side, as far as this review meeting is concerned, I consider that everybody are on board. Everybody, they are in the same boat, and we are fighting as one. And they have given a lot of suggestions which are very, very vital. And from those who are in the helms of affairs of the government, they have taken note of, which they have also acknowledged that yes, the suggestions given by those honorable members are very vital and which needs to be taken up.
We had this exercise since last 1 year, ever since the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic confronted us. And this exercise has been there with the sole intention to engage with utmost sincerity and high level of commitment, so that the state can minimize the miseries and sufferings that our people are subjected to because of the pandemic. And to ensure that while doing so, we save precious lives. So since last 1 year, we have been doing this, and we have been also sharing with all of you about the concerns about the suggestions that has been always put forward during this kind of engagement and discussion with the government. Today, subsequent to last meeting, this is another meeting that has been convened, and during this interim time, we also have gone to the ground zero to find out exactly what is happening in different districts. Because the presentation notwithstanding, we must know the ground zero, and based on various inputs that we received from the citizens from across the state. And today, that's why I've been very candid, because our engagement should be an enabling effort to take corrective measures wherever needed, to have a course correction wherever needed. Now, since last year, we knew that many measures have been put in place, particularly in respect to testing, diagnosis, isolation, containment, treatment, and saving as many lives as possible. And because of the nature of the disease, since some of the patients can actually go to a very critical conditions, measures were required to be put in place. Since last year, those were also told to have been done, including equipping many of the district civil hospitals, in addition to the state capital state hospital, with all the oxygen beds, the ventilators, the ICUs. And so with that kind of presentation that this particular civil hospital is provided with this many oxygen beds for different categories of patients, and also for any critical patients, so many numbers of ventilators have been provided with so many beds of ICUs. But since we were looking at quite a substantial, alarming number of death counts due to this COVID-19, we tried to find out more. And unfortunately, today what we have said is that why have those ventilators which were already provided to respective civil hospitals and other medical facilities were not operationalized? Because they were meant for saving lives of those patients who are likely to go to a very, very critical condition where they require this intervention. And why the ICUs have not been made operational? By doing so, we could have saved many precious lives. These are the concerns that we have shared.
As has mentioned by the Honourable Speaker, that this is an unprecedented situation that we face, and challenges that have never been faced before by any government in the world. This, as mentioned by the Honourable Speaker, is like a warlike situation. So therefore, having a perfect solution and being able to resolve every single issue may not be possible in a situation like this. We need to realize that we are working against limited resources and against time, both. And in both these challenges, which are very, very extreme, we need to do the best we can. So therefore, yes, if you look at it one way, that there are many areas which could have been far better. But we need to realize that we work under very, very difficult constraints. And keeping those situations in mind, I feel that the department and the team has done very well. Now, whether you talk of oxygen, where we had just simply 700 cylinders, today we have 3,000 of them, and many more thousands are coming. We didn't even have one oxygen plant, proper oxygen plant in any of the government units. Today we're going to have it on almost 11 to 12 different hospitals and centers. We didn't even have one cryogenic plant, we're going to have 2 of them. So if you look at that aspect also, it's been in a limited time of less than 30 days, all this work has been done. And on top of that, if you look at the entire situation of the beds that we face, we were at simply 350 beds. If you remember the first meeting I had when we had a lockdown, I told you that our 5,000 figure we're looking at, positive rate, is based on the 350 beds that we have. And therefore, we were below 1,000 numbers at that point in time, but still seeing the growth rate, we realized that time was running out. And so we went for the lockdown at that point in time, and we feel that it has helped us. Why I'm telling you all this is, again, to give you the idea that there could be shortcomings, there could be areas where, yes, the things could have been better, but we need to realize that we were working with very difficult conditions, very difficult times, and with limited resources. Another thing which I have mentioned in the meeting today is also the fact that we need to realize that as we fight a war, as we are, battling this enemy, that sometimes it is quite possible for us to sit in a room and really discuss a lot of small issues that could be resolved, or small issues which we feel were solvable. But when you're actually in the ground, when you're actually in the battlefield, when you're on the borderline, what the actual army officer or the soldier goes through is a very different mindset, because you're in that moment at that point in time. So I had suggested in the meeting also, Speaker said he will look into it, and why not all of us, all the members who are present inside here today, which is, I'm talking about the MLAs who are present, that why don't we, visit some of the COVID units, some of the COVID care units, where the PPEs which the doctors and the nurses wear, go through the condition that they go through, and then we'll be in a better position to realize what kind of a challenge we really face. So I urge again, if I have gone to the COVID ward myself in Garo Hills, I've seen what the doctors and nurses go through. It is a very difficult situation. It's a very tough battle. Therefore, really to be able to see things from their perspective sometimes is important for important decision making that we do at our level. So therefore, I've suggested this. I hope I get a positive response from them. And I'm willing at any time. I have already, as I said, visited the COVID ward in Thma. I have no problem visiting the COVID ward here. It will also give a good signal, positive signal. It will also ensure that everybody feels that the members are also involved. And I think it will give a confidence to the health workers. And more importantly, it will help the legislatures and the decision makers to really decide, after seeing really what challenges the individuals face. And in fact, I would suggest if come and go be with us when we enter these COVID wards, I think it's good to be part of this entire process. So I invite all of you also, and I'll see maybe in 2-3 days time if the others don't go, then I may go alone. But I invite the press also to be there. I think it'll send a good message to everybody.